Hi there, welcome back to Save with Crypto. My name is Save with Crypto, and I'm just going to do my usual weekend look at MEX, Multiverse X, that kind of stuff, and just see how depressing it is. So let's start by looking at the chart first of all. So we're looking at the price of MEX here. MEX is the token of the X exchange. And we normally see like a new all-time low pretty much every week, really. There was obviously this phase here between like the start of February and the second week of February. Things were looking, sort of hopeful, but since then it's just come down. And indeed, the last all-time low we had was on Wednesday, which was just 3 days ago. So yeah, another all-time low. Last time I looked at the price, it was down 99.89% from the all-time high. I'm not going to bother to work it out again, but I suspect we're probably at 99.9% down from all-time high now. So pretty much at zero. So can we go much further? Well, yeah, you can get as near to zero as you like without actually being at zero. But currently the price is 0.3867 times 10 to the minus 6 dollars. So that's 0.3 of a millionth of a dollar. So quite cheap. But will it ever go up? Well, to be honest, if you were to catch one of those little rises like that, I mean, what could you have made there? You could have made 21%, but realistically, with the token so near to zero, it is pretty much near dead, isn't it? Now then, I've got 3.6 billion of these, which are worth $1,427. But I suspect by the time they start unlocking, which is like October next year, I think they will all be pretty much worth zero. If you did want to buy some, though, you can buy a lot for a very little money. For example, if you wanted 1 million of them, it would actually only cost you 38 cents. If you want 1 billion, that's just $386. If you want to have 1 trillion, it would cost $386,700. And if you owned the entire supply of 8 trillion, it would cost about $3 million. Now, as you'd expect, most people aren't using this, so the actual trading volume is incredibly low. And typical buys here are like, 20 cents, $15. This one's quite crazy, 16 e-gold. Okay, so somebody believes something, don't they? Somebody bought 176,000 MEX there. Now, back in that first X day of 2022, or was it 2023? I can't remember now. But Lucian Tadea told us that, with the new XMEX, we wouldn't have to, stake it or anything like that. It would just generate more MEX by just locking your MEX, So let's have a look, how much XMEX I've generated in the past week by locking 3.6 billion XMEX, okay? And you can see here, it's actually $2.60. Is that actually correct? Okay, well, that's a little bit more than I thought it would be, to be honest. Last time I looked, it was about 40 cents. So what do I get? I get $1.57 of liquid MEX, and I get $1.03 worth of XMEX that will be locked for 4 years. Anyway, let's claim it. So at least that works anyway. So you can see here that all I'm really doing is just swapping anything I've got into ZoidPay, because I think that's going to be worth something soon. So I may as well just swap that $1.58's worth into ZoidPay. So let's do that. And I get 412 ZoidPay. Okay, so what about the other star of the show with Multiverse X, eGold? Let's have a look how that's doing. Yeah, I think this probably wins the prize for the most disappointing crypto on the planet, actually. I mean, at one point it was worth like $540, and it's currently worth $4.13. Pretty awful. Now, it's possible there has been some good news recently, so let's not be too critical. Let's look at it on the hourly time frame. Yeah, still pretty awful. Was that an all-time low there? I'm not sure. Well, not actually, no, because, back here, I think this was when the DEX was hacked in 2020. The price was down to like 56 cents, and when it was started, it was around about 48. So it's probably quite likely we'll see those levels again. I must admit, if it goes below $1, I might be tempted to buy a bit more. I know it seems like absolute madness, but I don't know. It might be quite a bargain. I mean, I did buy initially my Multiverse X when it was Elrond, and it worked out at about $7 each. So I am now down, although I have sold the majority of my e-gold. I think if it goes below 50 cents, then I think I definitely will buy a little bit, just for old time's sake. And then let's see if it does die or not. I suppose if it was 50 cents and I bought, like, say, 1,000 e-gold, it would cost $500. Sounds reasonable. Yeah, I think that's my buy price. Okay, well, that's probably all I can do with this, isn't it, really? I mean, I just wonder why people would ever use this. I mean, the earn thing, if you were to provide liquidity, with these tokens, you'd probably just lose it all in permanent loss. That's what happened to me, anyway. With the staking, I'm not sure what you get when you stake these, but I think you just earn XMEX, which is going to go down in value. So what's the point? Anyway, I'm sure some people like it. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you use X Exchange for. Personally, that's all I do now. I just look to see if I've got any MEX that's liquid. If I've got it, I'll swap it to ZoidPay. That's it. I have no real world use for it. I can't spend the stuff anywhere. Nothing really. Anyway, let's have a look who's talking about MEX over on X. Surprise, surprise, it's mostly me, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Anybody else? Oh, Stephen, aka the Economistic. I like him. He's good. He's actually been pretty much quite loyal to Multiverse X for years now. I think he did fall out with ZoidPay, but I think the Multiverse X team he's quite into. And he said he's just added 1 billion MEX for $384. Excellent. 1 billion for $384. He said, I accumulated a bag at 1,000 times this price, so I figured I'd lower my average price. Well, that's one way of doing it, isn't it, I suppose? Maybe I should do the same. He said, I still believe if e-gold goes up, so will MEX. Yeah, I agree. Take a look at the MEX e-gold chart over the last 12 months. It's now revisiting the zone of accumulation. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I lose $300. MEX is arguably the most undervalued and fuddy token over the last 5 years, for good reasons, but it can't go down forever, right? Yeah, I mean, you would have said that a few years ago, wouldn't you? I did too, but it has gone down and continues to go down. So, supernova soon, okay. Stablecoin soon. 1 billion AI agents on Multiverse X soon. Please race me in the comments. Please post charts of e-gold or MEX being down only in the comments. Okay, I think I'll put this video in there. So yeah, MEX to 1 anybody. I think MEX to 0 ought to be the new thing, really. This guy Falco.mvx said, I just realised how cheap MEX is at the moment. Crazy. Just stack some and add more as long as it's that cheap. Okay. Pay attention, e-gold. All right. Then there's me. So yeah, so there's nobody really talking about it, is there? Just me and Stephen. Ovidiu Arion says, after a day cycle, the smart contract will burn the MEX tokens and distribute the rewards proportionally with the amount of BFY. Oh, that's Burnify, isn't it? That was weird. That was, yeah. So yeah, there's just no interest in it. It's like, anyway. Right, so this video is probably quite pointless, but I'll upload it anyway, and let me know what you think. If you've got a pile of MEX like me, and is it locked forever? I'm not relocking mine, by the way. I don't want the eternal 4 years in the future, because to be honest, at my age, I don't know what's going to be happening in 4 years. So it could all be over by then. Who knows? Anyway, so roll on October 2027 when I can unlock my first lot of XMEX. And what will it be worth then? Pretty much 0, I reckon. Do you reckon something different? Let me know in the comments down below. While you're down there, please do make sure you are subscribed, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. All right, take care. And above all, tell your friends. Please note that this content is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not financial advice. Any information or opinions provided are not guaranteed to be accurate or complete. Always conduct your own research before making any financial decisions. A full legal disclaimer is in the description of each video and live stream.